Exactly, just understand.
Yeah.
Before we go into the question, please go ahead.
Does it work?
Hopefully. Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you for this invitation. I'm actually one of the co-founder of this school. We are 4 in total, with my colleagues Denise Didio, Florinda Sayeva, and Angela Laurenza. Already 4 years ago, we started this experiment. So in Italy, as we all know, there is still a big gender gap, unfortunately, and we were traveling at that time in Sicily, in a very southern part of Sicily, nearby Agrigento, and we were talking about this problem, in general Italians problem, and then we arrived to talk to gender, and we ask ourselves what we can do, how we can help. And from that day, we started to build this, the first was an experiment. We started to build this school for young women, age 14 to 19. And the first experiment was really interesting because the school was in Sicily, in Favara, southern of Agrigento, and we brought so many speakers from all Italy and all sector. The school is called Prime Minister and is a bit provocative, as you can think. And the fact is, as remember before Minister Cartabia, Italy has never had a prime minister, a woman prime minister. So we decided to use this title, and but we had in mind a biggest picture. So for us, politics is. It can be everything, always the way you breathe. So we try to bring speaker, female, and also some male speaker, but also female speaker, mainly from politician, artists, from the cultural sector, from companies, from the private sector, and we try to inspire this group of girls, these first 20 girls, and to make them aware of their rights first, of their power, and of their skills. So when we decided to start from the first ring of the chain of empowerment as it started from a very young age, and we decided that our target was going to be teenagers. And it was really interesting, the reaction. The girls were asking so many questions, and we thought that we were going in the right direction. So from that first experiment 4 years ago, we developed a national school program, and we are now in 10 cities. After Sicily, and we are still in Sicily, there was Naples, and then Rome, Rieti, Bari, Matera, and now in the north, Torino, Asti, Ivrea, and we managed to have 500 girls in total in these 4 years. So let's say that we can feel the need of this kind of school. And we think that in Italy the problem is really a cultural problem. So, for example, name of the street, books for kids, and also historical book, historical classes. All those things contribute to avoid empowering women, because they all report just men names, and this in our mind provokes something like thinking, no, I'm a woman, I will never be able to. It's something unconscious, so we need to start from spreading a new culture from our daily life. And I was carefully listening to what Minister Cartabia said about the room we have in the parliament, in the Italian parliament. There's a special room that is really important because there are these 21 women with amazing picture, and all this wall is full of women. But what I really wish, working at the parliament, is to see those pictures all around the parliament, because always we otherwise we are always at the same point. We have women, well, we keep them hidden somewhere. And this should change. This is I think, it could make a real great difference.
So you think one of the students that you have will be, instead of this mirror that Minister talked about, you have two mirrors, one of them for the Prime Minister. So hopefully one of your students will be there.
Yeah, hopefully. We made a trip in the room 2 years ago, before the pandemic, 3 years ago.
Okay.
And the girls start looking at themselves in the mirror, reading Prime Minister and looking themselves in the mirror. And it was really, really interesting, this experiment. I think, students need to have this kind of comparison and to see by themselves what they can become. And dreams, I think that you have to be inspired to be able to dream. And I love a sentence, is that you all know, but you cannot dream what you don't see. Mm-hmm. So this is what we are trying to do with this school. Normally, if I can add something, and for example, in the south of Italy, girls do not have the opportunity to meet like a member of the parliament, an astronaut, or a big cultural woman, and it's really important to bring this example to them, to make them dream in the right way and to give them the opportunity to dream.
Yeah. What are the key lessons you'd like to share with us? I mean, I like the idea of you finding a niche and then establishing a school or something that will help overcome the problem. So I believe that everyone would like to listen to what are the key lessons you have learned from this. I mean, if you'd like to give some messages based on your experience. Yeah.
Yeah. We learn a lot of things. We learn the first thing is that we need this kind of experiment, these schools, this moment of education that are gender focused.
Okay.
And they are essential still now in 2022 to make girls be inspired by different kind of women that can share not only their professional life but also their private life, to understand what are the motivation, but also what are the things that didn't work in their life, and what are the obstacles, and what are on the other side the success they reach.
Yeah. Actually, I have to mention that we have done some research again in the UE about gender diversity and what were the problems. So one of them was culture, this is something, but then the other thing which was actually very clear, which is the bias, which is unconscious bias, if you like. So in job descriptions, HR policies, selection, and so on, you have certain things when you read, this is like tailored for men. It may be not intentional, but actually this is really sort of the case. So that's one of the key things which I think we should really look at if you'd like to look at diversity. Now, if I'd like now to move into Giovanna Milandri, she's the chairwoman of Max Museum and former Italian Minister of Culture.